superstars. Remember we were jacking cars. Hey, now it's not safe for you. You switch like a... Hey, welcome back to another motherfucking episode of Kicking It with Saint. I told y'all I was going to have the episode out. I was going to do the podcast. I had to handle a couple things because I got to go to a Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow. I had to do a couple things. We is back. I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast from this morning. We back with our nighttime grind, man. You know what we do. Breaking down the games from this week. Thankfully, I waited till after Monday. To be completely honest with you, I can't even remember who played on Monday. Shit. And I watched that game too, bro. And for some reason, I am struggling to remember who played on Monday. So, give me a second to remember who the fuck played on Monday. It wasn't the Steelers and the Chargers. Oh, it was the Bucks and the fucking Giants. I'm tripping. It was the Bucks and the Giants. It was an ass beating. But welcome back, man. I hope y'all having a great day, great afternoon, great night. Whatever part in the time you decided to chill out and listen to the podcast, man. I appreciate y'all for joining me. I am so grateful that y'all is joining me. I'm so grateful that y'all clicked on this podcast, on this video, and decided to give me a couple minutes. Well, it's not going to be a couple minutes. Give me an hour or so of your time. Let's get to it. So, San Fran went into Jacksonville and beat the shit out of them, 30-10. Now, I just want to point something out before we get into this. The score was 30-10, and yeah, that's already ugly. You lost by 20 at home. But I just want to say, the fucking Jaguars did not get that little gimme touchdown till it was 3 fucking minutes left in the game. So, in actuality, it was 30-3. Alright? And that just goes, man, bro, it's just a reiteration of what I've been, it's proof, really. Further proof of what I've been saying all year. I'm not even a Jacksonville fan. That's what's crazy, bro. I'm not a Jacksonville fan, and I'm looking at this team, and I don't even have to look at every single game. Yes, I done looked at a couple full games of Jacksonville because I wanted to see Trevor Lawrence, and I'm kind of, like, it's not really hard to look at some of these full games. To be completely honest with you, you can get a lot from the game if you just look at the first and third quarter. Now, I will look at all 4 quarters, but the first quarter really a meaningless quarter most of the time, to be completely honest with you. But I understand if it's hard to watch Jacksonville games, but you don't even have to watch the full games at this point. You can just go and watch every single offensive snap from the game, or every defensive snap. You can, you know what I'm saying, you can make it easier for yourself. Go watch the snaps from these games, bro. The offensive play calling is just fucking moronic, bro. Just fucking stupid. And what I don't understand is the Giants just fired Jason Garrett, right? Because they believe he the reason their offense don't look bad, even though we know why their offense look bad, bro. It's the fucking quarterback. How are they not giving the quarterback no credit for this team looking as bad as it's done looked on offense? I don't know. You could tell me Galladay been hurt. You could tell me Saquon been hurt. But Daniel Jones is not shown. Fuck showing me. I don't know how anybody done looked at this man his first couple years and thought to themselves, oh yeah, this is definitely a franchise quarterback. That's crazy to me. But to me, he's not as good as Trevor. To me, he's nowhere near as good as Trevor Lawrence. And what's crazy is he's actually in a more stable situation. Even though the Giants haven't been good in years, that's a way more stable. I would rather be drafted to the Giants than to the Jaguars, bro. Without question. I don't even think the Giants head coach going to be back next year. And if he is, I believe that might end up being his last year. But for Jacksonville, bro, it's just look at this team on offense, bro. And look at how bad they are. I told y'all, I keep telling y'all that the running game could be decent if they commit to it. The dude had 29 yards this game. Don't look at the running back and say, Robinson, don't look at him and say, oh, he bad. Look at the fucking play calling, man. The play calling is not consistent. It has no type of rhythm and flow to it. It's moronic play calling, stupid patterns for the receivers to run. I mean, bruh, a lot of people like to blame Lamar Jackson. I know y'all was timing him on how long will it be before he bring up Lamar Jackson? We into the 4-minute mark and we already bringing up my boy. But look at Lamar Jackson from last year. I kept saying, like, if you look at some of these plays, man, they calling stupid ass plays, man. They calling 4 verts on plays. They calling plays where all the receivers run into the same area of the field. They running plays when you got a tight end like Mark Andrews, and they not calling plays for him to work space to get open in the different type of zones and shit. Like, the play calling was so counterproductive to the offense and the players on the field that's why a lot of people last year was like, yo, they got to do something with this motherfucker Greg Roman. They was looking at his track record and everything. Now, I think the Ravens coaches at this point could get away with murder and not get fired, but that's just me. We'll get to that when we get to it. But Jacksonville, bro, the only way you bring back this coaching staff next year is if you just care about bringing in money. Like, because if you don't care about putting a product on the field that matter or is good or that's competing, or if you don't care about trying to compete, then I really don't understand why you drafted. Well, I do understand why you drafted Trevor Lawrence, to sell tickets, to sell merch, until you end up fucking his career up in the next 4 years. But I don't think Trevor Lawrence's career will be fucked up. I believe that he will end up getting out of Jacksonville eventually if he can't find a way to fix this. And listen, football to me is just too big for. Listen, you can't have a quarterback that come in and flip the entire organization. I agree with that. But most of these organizations, because I got to start thinking. I said something about. I gave quarterbacks a lot of hell because I was like, a great quarterback can come in and flip any situation, and I still truly do believe that. But I am starting to think it is certain situations that's almost unfucking fixable, bro. Like, if Baker Mayfield had never gotten a Nick Chubb, a Kareem Hunt, a Odell Beckham, the best offensive line in football, Njoku, Hooper, Jarvis Landry, Kevin Stefanski. If you didn't never give Odell none of that, Baker none of that talent and all that talent he got on defense, then I wouldn't even I wouldn't even go at Baker as hard. Because I would say to myself, the Browns is a atrocious organization. They do nothing to help their players. This is not a winnable situation for him. However, that organization is completely flipped. That organization has put everything they needed to put around him. He just ain't producing. This is not the same situation when you look over in Chicago with Justin Fields or in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence. It's when you look over there in New York, bro, he got Saquon. Yes, Saquon be hurt, but he don't do shit when Saquon play. He got Galladay now. He don't do shit when Galladay play. They done made Shepard. He looked like a third string receiver at this point based on the shit that's been going on in New York. And I guarantee if he could get out of New York and get to a good quarterback, he would look way better than he look right now. But Daniel Jones just isn't the guy. Trevor Lawrence is the guy. I just don't know how he survives Jacksonville, which is why if he cannot get out of Jacksonville in his first 4 years or turn that shit around with a new head coach or something, I truly believe Trevor Lawrence will eventually get out of Jacksonville within that 4th, 5th, 6th year, and he will go be a stud for a different organization because there's no fucking way that this organization get turned around if they don't fire this fucking coaching staff. And, I was thinking earlier today, right? Because I was trying to be nice, bro. I was trying to be like, man, maybe Urban Meyer deserve another year. But he don't. Dead ass, he don't. But let's say they want to save some money and not have to pay another head coach after giving Urban Meyer an undeserved, humongous contract that most of the great coaches don't even get. Let's think about it. Let's say they give him another year. If they give this motherfucker a year, if they give this man another fucking year, there's no way you don't go to him and say, okay, we will give you another year or two, but we're fixing this coaching staff. Everybody in this motherfucker gotta go. And you need to bring over former head coaches that was great at some point in time. You need to bring over specialists who are known around the league at being great. You cannot keep running this college-style organization. And, I hear people try to say, oh, he run a college-style offense too. That ain't no college-style offense. That's an atrocious, trash-ass college-style offense because maybe you're right. Maybe that is exactly the same style he would run in college, thinking that, oh, now I got Trevor Lawrence and I can just put this offense in and it was working when I was in college. If I throw Trevor Lawrence in, it'll work now. It's completely disregarding the talent of the guys in the NFL. Most times when you see dudes using college-style offenses, listen, bro, don't be stupid. Those ain't just college-style offenses, bro. Those are some offenses that have college plays and whatnot that are tweaked for the NFL level. You want an example? Aside from Jacksonville, look at how bad the Cardinals' offense was or how sporadic and up and down it was the first couple years. because that was a college style offense that just was not capable of work. Look at Chip Kelly. Those shits flame out quick. Now this year you see the Cardinals make different. They don't wait. Now you could say the Cardinals still run the exact same offense. They just done got better weapons, or they done got a little bit smarter. I would push back on that a little bit. But either way, Jacksonville's offense is just pure trash. It's not. I'm gonna do the research because I'm almost certain Jacksonville might be last in the league at almost every fucking offensive category or stat. I cannot remember if I done seen too many teams this year that's as bad as Jacksonville scoring the ball wise. Maybe New York. Maybe the Texas. Baby, man, it can't be too many teams that struggle to score like Jacksonville, Brad. I don't think them teams struggle to score like Jacksonville. Maybe the Texas, but bro, it's unbelievable. And I know people gonna and if Shad Khan or whoever the fucking owner's name is or the GM, if they sit back and say, well, the only reason we're struggling so bad on offense this year is because of rookie quarterback, then you're terrible at your job. Because there's no way you looking at this and saying this is all on Trevor Lawrence, bro. Most of the times when they call in plays, I think to myself as I'm looking at these plays develop, now what the fuck is Trevor going to do to fix this dead ass play? What the fuck is Trevor going to do to save this trash ass play? That's the majority of this team's offense, bro. They run the ball good and then they'll stop running the fucking ball. They'll run the ball good, then they'll start calling up the same running play over and over and over again. And the defense will finally start stopping and shit. Like, Jacksonville's offense makes absolutely no sense. And like I get on here and say every fucking week, bro, I done got on here and said it about Baker, that he holding Cleveland back. I done got on here and said Matt Nagy is holding Justin Fields back. This fucking coaching staff, bro, is holding Trevor Lawrence back, and that team back for that matter, bro. And I don't understand if you go into next year with this man as your head coach, that you allow him to keep this same goofy ass coaching staff, bro. Especially this offensive coordinator and this offensive coaching staff, because they are terrible, bro. What people be saying by every metric, this is a atrocious, a terrible offensive coaching staff. And I don't know what the fuck Urban Meyer sold these motherfuckers on, but listen, bro. And Coon Smith say, man, you have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. Bro, what? How did this... Bro, whatever, man. Whatever. I feel bad for Jacksonville fans. San Fran got to win, so that's going to keep them in the playoff hunt in the NFC. And it's like I said, the bottom of the NFC is bad, bro. None of them teams is really dominant. The NFC is top heavy. So teams going to have a chance to come through and get, like the Vikings got the win on Sunday. So, the NFC, the bottom of the NFC wide open. Unlike the AFC where it feel like every spot fucking wide open. Jets, Dolphins, we ain't going to spend too much time talking about this one, man. 24-17, the Jets lost. Joe Flacco started in this game. I believe he went down at some point in time in this game. I didn't watch this entire game. I didn't watch this game at all, matter of fact. Let me not even cap to you. I didn't even watch the highlights of this game. But the Dolphins got another win. I guess they don't care about draft positioning. Or maybe the shit done been so figured out in the AFC at this point, they just don't give a fuck. I don't know. But for the Jets, I mean, you should be happy you lost. Now, I heard it's a controversy going on down there with the quarterback position. I don't think that to be the case. I believe Zach Wilson need to go ahead and be reinserted if he's healthy and ready to play. And let that man continue to do what he do, man. You keep growing. I will say this, and I meant to say this a couple weeks ago on the podcast, bro, when it come to, and maybe I did. I can't remember if I said this or not. I like Rob Salah. I think he a decent head coach. Do I think he is Rex Ryan? No. You can say what you want to about the roster Rex had. You can say what you want to about the team, the Jets. All I know is the Jets team wasn't good before Rex Ryan got there. And when he got there, that team was good for the next 2, 3, 4 years. So, if he could have figured out the quarterback position, More than likely could have been a good team even longer, bro. Probably could have got over some of them big humps in the championship games if he had a quarterback. So it don't matter how you feel about Rex Ryan, he was the last good head coach for the Jets. He gave the Jets a certain type of energy and aura. You know what I'm saying? When the Jets came in the first couple of years of Rex Ryan's coaching career in New York, you weren't expected to just beat that team no more. He made them a viable team, a playoff team, a good team, a tough team to take out with Mark Sanchez as quarterback. So, however you decide or may feel about Rex Ryan, I personally think you're wrong. I think he was a good head coach, damn near a great head coach. The only problem I saw with him is he was terrible at clock management and game management. But I think Rex Ryan definitely should have gotten another head coaching job after that Bills job. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. But I like Rob Saleh. Rob Saleh don't got that same energy he had with the fucking 49ers on the sideline. And I think that's what your team missing right now, bruh. Pump up the troops, bruh. If you always looking down and depressed and every time a turnover happen, your whole mood just go down, motherfucker, your teammates gonna be a reflection of you. They gonna start losing hope and shit, feeling like, it's over. Like, I feel like now that you a head coach, bro, you're going to have to fix your posture on the sideline. People get at players all the time for their body language and shit. I feel like as the head coach, Salah got to give some more energy, some more juice to the team, bro. You can't only be pumped up when you're winning, bro. That's just not realistic. That motherfucker Sean McVay pumped up damn near every time they get a first down or a stop on defense. It don't matter what the score is. So you can't. I feel like, listen, I ain't saying he got to be up and jumping up and down in the sky cheering and shit, laughing and goofing around when they losing all the time. But all I'm saying is to consistently be down every time you're losing and to be only happy when you win. Come on, man, it can't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You got your guys got to be, like I said about Dan Campbell crying and shit after 4 losses. Saying like a team can't get behind that, like how I'm supposed to rally behind, like how am I supposed to look at his head coach as a troop or an ally, anything like that when this motherfucker crying? Like he done lost faith and shit like that already. He already done been broken 4 weeks in. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I need my coach to give me, like, I'm not saying that I rely on that motherfucker to give me the energy and shit, but I do need that motherfucker to show some type of energy and life on the sideline also. Like, motherfucker, you paid to be great also. So let's get to it. Shit ain't going good right now, but just like the players have to suck it up and play through it, motherfucker, coach through it, bro. I don't need you slumped on the sideline and shit like that and all depressed and your shoulders down and shit. Motherfucker, head, chin up, walk tall, pump your chest out, motherfucker. It's hard to win games, but you knew that when you signed on to be the head coach of the motherfucking Jets. The Jets didn't have Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen as the head quarterback of them teams. Aaron Rodgers wasn't over there. You knew what you was getting into when you walked over there. Sam Darnold was a quarterback. You knew when you signed that y'all was probably going into the draft to get another quarterback. Suck it up, motherfucker. Tough times, yeah. What they say, tough times don't laugh, tough people do. Alright then, motherfucker, get it together. Give your team some juice. But I guess congratulations to the Dolphins. But Lions-Browns, man. Lions-Browns. Now, I told y'all, man, Baker had to win this game. If you lose this fucking game. And listen, man. Yes, Baker Mayfield was bad. I've already released a video on Baker. I feel like I don't really have to sit here and kill Baker again. I feel like I don't need to sit here and talk about Baker for a whole 20-something minutes again. I feel like I could just move on from this one. We all know how bad Baker played and yada, yada, yada. I feel like I don't even have to waste our time on this subject. But I am. I am, my boy. I am. So, man, the dude played like shit. What do you expect? And it's different if it was a good quarterback. Y'all know how I feel about great quarterbacks, good quarterbacks who done shown us they had high ceilings, playing bad here and there. I can accept that. I can get with it. I'm not mad at that because I believe you got to grow. I am, but you going to see how unbiased I am because it's a dude who I'm not finna give a pass to no more. I'm finna call him out finally. It's not Baker. I call that sorry trash motherfucker out every week. But it's a different quarterback who I love dearly that I'm going to call out later in the video, in the podcast. But listen to me. Check me out. How bad, the bar is already very low for Baker. Now this motherfucker plays atrocious against the Lions and motherfuckers say, well, at least we won. That's already as low a bar as the bar go, because y'all do that for him all the time, where y'all win a game and he still play like shit and you excuse it. But now the motherfucker don't even want to talk to the media. You know what really irritates me about this motherfucker with all his antics and shit like that, bro? Because it's always the same thing with him, man. The motherfucker's a front runner, man. When everything's going great, Baker all hype and shit like. Motherfucker never complaining about the injuries when he feel like his team winning or like they got the energy and the juice and shit. It's only when he much like Rob Salah, man. You can say Rob Salah front runner if you want to. But this motherfucker Baker is a big time front runner, bro. Big time front runner. And he's not the leader of this fucking team, bro. I don't know who the fuck the leader of the team is, to be honest with you, because it should production. If you're going off of production, then it should be Nick Chubb. If you're going off of the personalities, obviously it's Baker or Myles Garrett. But Baker shouldn't be Baker's not the leader of this team. This team has gone. This team can go in spite of Baker. But Baker, I keep hearing people say, "Oh, well, he can't lose. He ain't the reason they be." Well, he is the reason they be losing some games though. Because if y'all keep complaining about this defense, don't do this, when y'all gonna complain about these motherfuckers scoring some more points, bro? I never understand that. Because if you look at every blowout, all right, just work with me. If you look at any team that get blown out, one of the biggest reasons they get blown out is because they can't fucking score. I believe that's on the offense. And if you credit the quarterback for them succeeding on offense, and you give most quarterbacks blame when they don't succeed on offense, I don't understand why you would be excluding Baker from it. Like I heard Jeff Saturday try to give a whole bunch of different excuses. This dude Jeff Saturday is wild. I just don't understand how Baker is above being criticized, critiqued, and whatnot. Especially when he's not done anything of relevancy or can achieve anything of greatness so far in the NFL. Like Lamar Jackson was a 32nd pick. He's unanimous MVP. He still get judged harder than fucking Baker Mayfield. Make it make sense. But for the Lions, you're working for the number one pick, man. I'm expecting the Lions to draft a quarterback, bro. Whoever the best quarterback in the draft is, that's who the fuck the Lions need to be drafting, bro. The Lions, at this point, the Lions need to just buy right into losing every game. If losing every fucking game get you talked about this year and forever, but to get that motherfucker Jared Goff off of this team and get you your future quarterback, it's all worth it. Because that's what you always supposed to be looking for, is your future quarterback, your future stud, your future franchise. There's no point in dragging this out with Jared Goff. Yeah, you're probably not going to get that contract off your roster. That's why you need to make sure you hit with this quarterback in the draft. You got to make sure you hit with this quarterback in the draft. And really, that should be the only focus for the Detroit Lions at this moment. Hitting on the number one quarterback in a draft. Because I do not believe it's no team in the NFL with a worse record than Detroit. Detroit better make sure they don't win none of these fucking games. You can be as competitive as you want to. You can continue to have teams play down to you. You just better make sure you don't win none of these fucking games. So people think I hate Detroit. What I'm really trying to do is help Detroit. Detroit need to just make sure they buy into this losing so you can go get your next franchise quarterback. And people saying, oh, well, what if the dude don't work? Who gives a fuck? Jared Goff's not the answer. So you might as well go into the draft and find the answer, or try to. You can't worry about missing this shit unless it's a glaring miss like Chicago taking Trubisky over fucking Deshaun Watson. Other than that, come on, Detroit. Let's be smart about this now. Yeah, haven't you suffered enough? Haven't you suffered enough? But Saints Eagles, man, I told y'all, I had a feeling. I was just gonna keep going till I hit one of them things. I had a feeling. All right, bro. But yeah, bro, I had a feeling, bro. I had a feeling that the Eagles was gonna get this dub. And you know what's funny? I said Jalen Hurts, man. Y'all, so what y'all can't see, I'm not even gonna tell y'all what's gonna happen. But anyways, just know I I've been doing some real bozo shit just now for the last couple seconds. But listen, I said that I felt like the Eagles was going to win this game, and Jalen Hurts could even struggle and not put up a crazy game, and they could still die. He did have 3 rushing touchdowns. He didn't really do that spectacular through the air like that, but Eagles just played an all-around great team game. Darius Slay starting the ball, which usually happens in the second year of a guy getting to a team after he can adjust and whatnot after being traded. But he balling now. I mean, listen, now I don't think the Eagles are a playoff team. I don't think that. I don't even think that this they could quickly start losing again. Let me put it like that. As much as I like some of the players on the Eagles, I'm not retarded. But because I don't think the Saints is a real threat. I think those are a fraudulent team. Like, they might got some wins and shit like that, but when they lost Jameis, that was the season, bro. They're not winning with Trevor Siemian. No teams fearing going into a game against Trevor Siemian. No teams fearing. And it's real funny to me that they keep giving this dude an extension. What's his name? The running quarterback, Taysom Hill. But he can't beat out nobody to be a starter. That's very interesting. I think the only reason he beat out Jameis last year is I don't even think he beat Jameis out. I think Sean Payton just had already made the decision. I'm starting Taysom Hill because Jameis just got here. But yeah, I don't know how this man keep getting these contract extensions, but hey, power to him. But I had a feeling the Eagles were gonna win this. Now, with the Saints loss, that's good because the Panthers also lost. And I know I said they was gonna go undefeated the rest of the season. Well, they're gonna go undefeated the rest of the season starting now, motherfuckers. But with this L for the Saints, that only helps the Panthers, seeing as how the Panthers lost too. So listen, the Trevor Siemian completed like 20-something passes only for 200-something yards. It was a lot of that going on this week. A lot of dinking and dunking going on, which you've seen a lot of in the NFL recently. And it was still some quarterbacks that was going on. Like, Aaron Rodgers finally had a vintage Aaron Rodgers game today. Kind of crazy that their defense actually was bad today, and they lost this game after he had one of his best game of the season, really. But hey, shit happens. But it's a good thing that you win in them other games to have yourself in a position where you can afford to lose this game, even though you don't want to lose this game. Hey, like I said, shit happens. But when it comes to the fucking Saints, the Saints are a fraudulent team, bro. They don't have a quarterback, and I done told y'all multiple times. That's the most important, and y'all done heard it multiple times. You don't got to listen to me to understand that. Quarterback, the most important part of the team, and your team can get away with beating a lot of bad teams in the NFL that also don't have good quarterbacks or decent quarterbacks or quarterbacks at all. But when you have to play a team that has a quarterback or a quarterback that the team trusts and relies on and actually going to, let him loose a little bit, then it's going to be, nah, fuck that. If you play against a team with a good quarterback, you're going to lose most of the time in that game unless that quarterback just have an off game. The Saints are not beating a team like Tampa Bay when it matters because that's a team that has a quarterback. I'm not taking them to beat the Packers. I'm not taking them to beat the Panthers, to be honest with you, because I think when Cam get back in game shape and all that, the Panthers gonna be a full go in my opinion. Cam made some fucking throws in that game. He made some plays. He did that off of his first official start back. He only gonna get better with this team. I'm not really sold on the head coach yet, Matt Rule. I'm very interested to see what he do with Cam, but I think the Panthers are gonna end up finishing second in that division. Obviously, the Falcons are fucking trash, but the Saints. I can't take the Saints over a whole bunch of these other teams that actually got quarterbacks. When you shuffling Taysom Hill and Marcus Trevor Siemian and whoever the fuck else you end up probably picking up through free agency. So I wouldn't be surprised if Blake Bortles end up making a start eventually there, bro. But the Saints are not a legitimate contending team. They got a great defense, a good defense, great defense, whichever one you want to call it. But the fact of the matter is you keep relying on, and I said this last year, even though I didn't have a podcast last year, but I've been saying this for a little minute, man. When you rely so heavily on your running back to be the best receiver, the best running back to get the most yards, to get your touchdown, then your team's going to eventually falter out and be a bad team. Because when you take Michael Thomas off that team, and like I said, people love to call this man Slant Thomas and all that bullshit. He was limited to what Drew Brees could do. All right. I promise you, once Michael Thomas get to a different NFL team, which I think he's done with the Saints. I hope he's done with the Saints, because if they don't have a quarterback and Sean Payton gonna keep running this little dinky, raggedy ass, throw it to the running back, slant, drag, run it to it, throw it to the running back type of offense, I'm good on that. I hope my boy get to a team where the quarterback actually can throw the ball, so he's gonna be able to go up and down the field and show off how great he is, because you don't accidentally put up the stats that he get put up. Now, I also think he was in one of them situations that I say about Cooper Kupp, where they throw the ball to him. He gets so many more opportunities than everybody else, which is why, to an extent, I understand people getting mad about the slant. They did run up 50 million fucking slants and just continuously throw it at him all the time. I get that. You could be mad about that. But I'm saying he's talented. I'm saying you could be right about him not being the best receiver, but I'm telling you he ain't no trash receiver. That's all I'm saying. He can be a difference maker and a game changer. Because you can say what you want to. It's like I said, Cooper Kupp's not a bad receiver. He's clearly a great receiver. I just don't think he is what those numbers say he is, because I know who's throwing him the ball. And I know how that motherfucker operates, bro. He's got a track record of operating the way I know him to operate. So that's all I'm saying. But the Saints are not a legitimate playoff team. I don't think the Saints are going to make the playoffs. But big win for Philly, even though I don't think they are a playoff team also. But this is big for Philly when you look at it, bro, because you get these wins under your belt right now. You keep growing. You keep getting better, bro, with this offense. Miles Sanders came back, had a good game. You can only get better, bro. The offense can still get improved, but it's nowhere near as bad as some of these other offenses with these other young quarterbacks and shit. And we was just talking about the football team and the Panthers, how they came in there and won that game. Listen, bro, I want to say something real fast. Congratulations to the fucking Redskins for winning this meaningless game, because I still think the fucking Redskins are going to miss the playoffs. Whoop-de-fucking-do, you got your win with Ron Rivera coming back. You call me salty, I don't give a fuck. It was some player that said after the game that yelled, I thought he said he was back. You know, it's always going to be some pussy bitch-ass motherfucker in the crowd that's a hater, bro. Why is you hating on Cam Newton saying he back, bro? Why? Because he went to the middle of the field? It wasn't even your home. It's not like he did that in Washington. I'm telling you, man, some of these players and their sensitivities, man, and they so sensitive and emotional about motherfuckers being happy for themselves. Like, who was it? The Titans that got mad when Cam was dancing in the end zone? Like, this the same team that fucking danced on shit on the Ravens logo and shit. So, you know, I find it funny what dudes decide to get emotional and sensitive about. But the Redskins got this win, and I want to say something else. Tyler Heineke, a lot of motherfuckers is really overrating this motherfucker. Like, Tyler Heineke had a decent game, bro, but the motherfucker still basically throw for less than 200 or 200, barely over 200 a game. He do a lot of dinking and dunking. He got a great receiver in McLaurin, and they take a shot here and there, I guess, but they don't even run a consistent enough offense to have him break out like he should already. And yeah, we all know he's good if you look at him, but the rest of the NFL, the casual NFL, don't even know who he is. So I think Washington's going to get in one of them situations. And it's real funny because Washington wouldn't commit to Kirk Cousins, and rightfully so. I don't think Kirk Cousins was the guy. I don't think you win in the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. But this is the thing. You don't commit to Kirk Cousins, but you don't commit it to Taylor Heineke for this year. You committed to him at the end of last year, I guess. So I mean, I guess truly this is just truly a rookie year for Taylor Heineke if you really look at it. I guess he's not a rookie in age or nothing like that, but I mean, I guess if you look at it, you could say this is them work. I don't know, man. It's really hard to judge because from what I've seen from Taylor Heineke, I don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he's average, to be honest with you. I just think he get hidden and protected by the play calling a lot. And when they have to make him do more, he become real inaccurate, real shaky, and just the average quarterback. But I know people going to look at some of these, they're going to watch him beat some of these average to above average teams, just a little bit above average, and they're going to see him do some stuff here. Like, if you watch that entire Washington game, yeah, he had a decent game, but he didn't really do nothing spectacular. Yeah, he did make that one throw as he didn't really get hit. They missed a sack, but he made some plays down the stretch, yeah. But what I'm saying is, I think people is overrating him, much like they doing Mac Jones. And when you start when the NFL get full film on him after this year, if he start next year, because I think Washington would be stupid enough to start him again. I think they're gonna give him another full year, and maybe Taylor Heineke end up developing into a better quarterback. But at the moment, I just think easy and simple play calling is what's making him look as decent as he done look. But if you done looked at some of these other games and you realize when the play calling get a little bit more complex and the defenses get a little tougher, he not, and the simple plays ain't there, and he can't just dinking and dunking down and hit the little simple screen and hit the little simple slant and shit. I just think he turned into an average quarterback. But hey, we'll figure this one out. We'll see who was right or wrong on this one. We'll figure it out. But the Panthers will be fine. They do need to start putting together some wins. I will say that. The Panthers need to start putting together some fucking wins, and that's all right because, like I said, they're going to go undefeated from this point on. Bank on it. Colts, Bills, I did not expect it. Well, I'm trying to remember. In that podcast, I think I did say, like, I expect the Bills to win, but I don't know if I said I wouldn't be shocked if they lost. Now, I was shocked that they lost. I was shocked they lost like this at home. 41-15 at home. Sheesh. And Josh Allen struggled. And a lot of people been saying, man, Josh Allen done only had... Bruh, it was a motherfucker who said, and when they brought up stats and shit, they was right. They was like, Josh Allen not only had one great year of football or one good year of football his entire life. And it was like it was last year. And they was showing stats and talking about all the numbers from his other years. They was talking about high school, college, numbers. I was like, holy shit, they right. But it's been a tough one for Josh Allen. I think the Bills going to be fine. But I will say this. A lot of the media don't clearly give a fuck about some of these losses that the Bills keep having, because I keep watching these shows the next day, and they rarely talk about when the Bills lose these games, and they also still be picking the Bills as their team to get out of the AFC. And right now, the team that I'm looking at in the AFC is the fucking Chiefs again. That team looks like the best team in the AFC again right now, to me. Not the Bills. I mean, fuck, man. The Bills ain't even double winning their division, though, boy. Like, what the fuck? How can you still be taking the I don't know. But they got their asses whooped by Jonathan Taylor ran for 184 fucking yards, I believe. Let me see. Let me check it. 32 attempts, 185 yards, 5.8 yards a carry, 4 tubs. 40-yarder was his longest one, and a receiving touchdown. So he had 5 tubbies. And Carson Wentz only was 11 for 20 for 106 yards. So just a couple dinking and dunking, but he let Taylor do the rest. And I mean, when Josh Allen turning the ball over like that, and they giving you the ball back, and you dominating in the running game, hey, it's clockwork. And now the Colts is turning it on. I told you the Colts was going to have to get hot down the stretch and start winning some of these games, especially, and with the Titans losing, to the fucking Texans, with Tannehill going over there and dropping a 4 interception day. And I told you how he hadn't been looking good this season. But boy, it feel like teams is really starting to hone in on, if we stop Tannehill, which ain't that difficult of a task, it's looking like, boy, Derrick Henry, he earning more money by the day, ain't he? He ain't even playing. But the Colts could end up winning this division. I said it. They could end up bouncing back from having that rough start to the season and winning this division. Because after the Tennessee lost to the Titans, it's time to accept Tennessee could just keep dropping duds here and there and end up letting the Colts get back in it. Now, Carson going to have to be better than he was last week, because what Jonathan Taylor did this week ain't guaranteed to happen every fucking week. He ain't Derrick Henry. He ain't built like that. But great game by Jonathan Taylor, though. Great fucking game by Jonathan Taylor. Jesus. This shit popped right in my face, fam. But we moving on. Oh, and we just talked about the Texans and the Titans. I told y'all, bro dropped a 4 INT day. We not going to waste too much time on that. Packers Vikings. We also talked about this Packers and Vikings game, but hey man, I'm gonna tell you what's funny. So I was watching this game, and I turned away, right, and Aaron Rodgers and them took the lead, and Aaron Rodgers was balling, and I saw Kurt and them was losing, and I told my homeboy who was watching the game with me, I said, watch this. I said, when this score popped back up late into this game, because we was watching a different game. I can't even remember what game we was watching. I don't know if it was a Cowboys game going on at the same time. I believe it was the Cowboys and Chiefs we was watching. I can't really remember what the fucking first game we was watching. Maybe it was I think it was Carolina. Either way, we was watching the game. And when that score had popped up and shit, and they kept going back to the highlights, I was like, watch this. I said, the Vikings is going to fucking come back and win this game. And he was like, how you figure that? I was like, because for some fucking reason, the Vikings think it's cool to not play offense for an entire game. But when it mattered the most, for some reason, these motherfuckers start actually making plays. And it's like they remember Kirk Cousins can actually throw the ball a little bit. And he got a lot of great weapons on his team. And they just start to explode. Now, when it got down to them last couple minutes or seconds and it was a close game, I was like, oh, I think it was tied or something. I was like, oh, okay, it could get dangerous. But when I saw that the Vikings had the ball again, I was like, yeah, the Vikings are going to win this game. And my homeboy, an Aaron Rodgers fan, so he don't care about Aaron Rodgers' line. I'm going to tell you, he done said straight up, he said, y'all need to mind y'all motherfucking businesses and leave Aaron Rodgers alone. That was just a PSA from him. I'm just telling you right now. But, yeah, I told him. I said, if Kirk Cousins and them boys get this ball back, I said, I don't know why, but I got a feeling they're going to win this fucking game. And they did. Now, I picked Green Bay to win this game, and Green Bay's defense really let me down after boosting them and hyping them up last episode. But, hey, shit happens. They've been balling their ass off the last couple weeks, bro. They can definitely, all season, they can definitely have a week off, bro. So, I'm not sweating that loss by Green Bay. That's not even a big loss, to be completely honest with you. Unless you talking about in the grand scheme of like the number one seed in the playoffs, but they still have a lead over because they hold a tiebreaker against the Cardinals. I don't know if they play the Rams this year, but I think they're going to finish with a better record than the Rams too. And I think they're going to finish with a better record than the Bucks. So playoffs could go through Green Bay this year. I think and I'm it's 31-34, bro. I'm gonna excuse an off day by the defense in this loss by the Packers, bro. Y'all know how I do. But Ravens Bears, I couldn't wait to get to this fucking game, man. Listen, man, the Ravens ended up winning this one. Obviously, Lamar Jackson didn't play; he had a tummy ache, or he was just sick. 16-13. Boy, I gotta say something about this game, man. Now, shout out Mark Andrews. He was Huntley's best friend in this game, basically. But, man, fuck this offense, bro. This defense is a problem, bro. Baltimore's defense is a problem. They had the weekly special going on. For you. They a short screen pass, go for a long touchdown because motherfuckers forget how to tackle. Check. A deep pass given up for a big play or a touchdown on a 4th and long play. Check. Like, this defense is embarrassing, bro. It's defenses with less talent on it around the NFL that do not play this bad on a weekly basis. That do not give up these big breaks in coverage on a weekly basis, bro. People, like I said, bro, people was going hard at Greg Williams for that stupid ass play he called last year against the Raiders. Wink Martindale is doing that on a weekly basis and getting away with it. On 4th down, when all you need your dudes to do is cover on 4th and long, you don't have to keep running these all-out zero blitzes, bruh. They ain't working. And somebody posted on Twitter, they was like, yo, this dude, Wink Martindale, only is a good coach when he coaching against rookies. Yes, I said that earlier in the year. I said it's really looking like Wink Martindale only coach good when he coaching against young quarterbacks or rookie quarterbacks because they don't know and haven't seen all the different type of disguised blitzes and shit that he can send. These vet quarterbacks be torching his ass. Because they can read those blitzes. They know those blitzes coming. So they already got the screen. And when you playing against the Ravens, if you watching the tape this year, you know the Ravens miss tackles left and right. You know they miss tackles left and right. And you can hide Patrick Queen all you want to. Like I said, when you start having the high draft picks, bro, you need to go ahead and start getting ready to replace him. Because Patrick Queen should not have to be hidden on defense. But the fact of the matter is he is so bad that you do have to hide him on defense. But Marlon Humphreys is bad on defense at this point. Like I said, Marlon Humphreys gives up a big play on defense every week at this point. Somebody in the defense, now he wasn't the person who gave up that huge play on 4th and long this game. But man, come on, man. How many excuses we gonna get these dudes? I understand you got players hurt. Every player, every team in the league can say they got different injuries and shit to players that they feel is important to their team. This is ridiculous. Wink Martindale has not adjusted. He continues to get. It's like I said, the Ravens coaching staff could get away with murder at this point, and the motherfucking John Harbaugh and everybody else would just look right, and the people who employed him and can decide if they fired or not would look the other way. Because there's no way Greg Roman should be allowed to have those last 3 weeks of offensive play calling be that bad and not have been talked to or something. Something has to happen when you have that 3 games in a row in which your play calling is atrocious. And I done said it. In some of these games, the offense will be passing the ball good. The defense would be, the run game would be atrocious, and he would still decide to start running the ball for some reason and take the ball out of the air. Like simple shit like that makes no sense. Your running game is not working. Your passing game is. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to run the ball on 2nd and long to make it a 3rd and long. We're going to run the ball on pointless downs when we are already cooking through the air. It's just stupid shit he been doing over the last 3 weeks. And then you got, like I said, Wink Martindale. I gave him the excuse early in the season. But now this is out of control. You are a professional defensive coordinator. You should be able to make adjustments, bro. It is no excuses. And it's no longer a Odafe Owe watch, because he ain't winning Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. That is going to Micah Parsons in Dallas, who had, 3 sacks and a strip sack against the Chiefs. Dallas did every fucking thing they could to beat the Chiefs in that game, their defense. But this defense for the Ravens is pathetic. I've been a Baltimore fan my entire life. Obviously, I done seen a shit ton of great defenses. This is by far the worst defense I have ever seen from a Baltimore Ravens team. On a week-to-week basis, bro, you can count on them missing a shit ton of tackles and giving up a big game. I am terrified of what of what Nick Chubb. I don't know why I keep confusing Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I am terrified of what I did it again, right after I corrected myself. I am terrified of what Nick Chubb, and you see how I stuttered because I wanted to do it again. But I'm terrified of what Nick Chubb could do to this motherfucking defense. Terrified. Because I know how bad they are at tackling. I know how bad they are at staying with their assignment. I know how bad the defensive coordinator is at calling up game plans and shit like that. They really have to rely on Baker Mayfield being Baker Mayfield, meaning they have to rely on him costing Cleveland this game. Or they're going to just have to pray that Lamar Jackson and this offense is clicking on all cylinders, even though he's just coming off of being sick. And it's a shame, because Baltimore should be blowing some of these teams out, and they can't. Because the offense can't get started because of just atrocious play calling. And the fucking defense can't stop nobody. They can't get off the field. And like I said, the only time this man looked decent, and when his defense looked decent, is when they playing against young, bad quarterbacks, and eventually they still let the quarterbacks eventually beat them for some goofy shit. So whoop-de-doo, we beat the Bears. We barely beat the Bears without Lamar Jackson. Whoop-de-fucking-do. We better beat the fucking Browns coming up. That's all I know. But the Bengals and the Raiders, man, 32-13. And I said I was going to keep letting quarterbacks slide. I was going to stop being biased. Well, Derek Carr got to come to the carpet, bro. For one, I get it. You done lost some weapons and shit like that. I can't keep you at home and you just put up 13 points and your defense gave up 32 points and you didn't help them at all. And I said it about Stafford, but I guess I got to say it about fucking Derek Carr. Now, how are you so inaccurate when you are throwing to anybody not named Darren Waller? It's becoming a problem. And I have to call it how I see it. And I hate to have to do this, but Derek Carr reminds me a lot of Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff in the bad ways. Because, and he turned it into a Matthew Stafford, to be honest with you, where he got more than enough talent for a quarterback that's supposed to be a franchise quarterback to succeed. Matthew Stafford had more than enough help for a franchise quarterback to succeed. The problem is he gets so locked in on one dude, and he is so bad when he have to spread the ball around. And I'm starting to really see that with my boy Derek Carr. When you ask Derek Carr to spread the ball around, like hit a whole bunch of people, make it a, you can still hit Darren Waller and whatnot, but spread the ball around, get everybody else involved. He just can't do it. He just, eventually the play calling gonna get, and the Raiders I don't think that the Raiders play calling get enough criticism for how bad it is at times. Like, the Raiders are calling plays on fucking, like, much like the Cowboys. Kellen Moore was calling some fucking plays on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. They were calling plays where they would throw the ball behind the line. You don't have a play where you can call to pick up 2 fucking yards? You don't have a passing play that you can run. I get it. If you don't trust the running game, I get that. But you don't trust your quarterback can throw the ball beyond 2 yards to pick up a first down. You have to throw it 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and hope the running back or the receiver can pick. That's amazing to me. That's why I hate those type of plays. But it'd be working for some teams. But it's just in situations like that. Like, I don't understand how you don't trust your quarterback and you don't have plays that go beyond that. Like, that's insane to me, bro. I legitimately thought about that while I was watching games all week. I'm like, how do you call a play behind a fucking screen pass behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 2? What? Most teams probably going to try to pick that up with the running back. But a lot of teams have a quick little slant, or a tight end can get open for a quick, I'm very confused as to how a team as good as offensively as Dallas, supposed to be the best offense in the league, couldn't keep picking up short 3rd downs. Like, that was and Dak was very inaccurate in that game. So, I mean, that was wild to me. And I find the Raiders do that shit a lot too, because Joe Burrow wasn't even amazing in this game. Joe Burrow didn't even throw for 200 yards in this game, bro. But fucking the Raiders just are so bad offensively at times, and Derek Carr is just so bad when you want him to spread the ball around. I don't really know what you do at this point. I know he don't got guaranteed money on his contract next year. If I'm the Raiders, I said this about the Browns in my earlier video, in my earlier podcast. Like, if you the Cleveland Browns right now, do you know what's killing you? That you an average team. You right in the middle. So you can't draft high, and you're not a consistent Super Bowl contending team. So you got to continuously nail the draft and draft in ugly spots of the draft, right? Because dudes who drafting late in the draft not really caring. They just trying to hit on something because their team's usually already good. The teams in the first part of the draft getting the best draft picks because their teams are bad. The teams right in the middle is a hit or miss thing for them a lot of times. If you the Raiders, now you getting caught in that middle part of the draft. Now, you did get Henry Ruggs, and you keep getting guys that's falling because some of these drafts have been stacked. But how many times can you miss in the draft? And how many times can you continue to get stuck in that middle part because you can't be bad enough to get a top 10 pick, but you're also not good enough to be a playoff team? Like, fuck a Super Bowl team, contending team. The Raiders haven't been good enough to be a playoff team over the last couple years. I think the Raiders have made the playoffs once in Derek Carr's career, and he got hurt that year. That was his MVP year, where he was playing like an MVP. So if you the Raiders, man, I really hate to say what I'm about to say, but it's probably time for you to move on from Derek Carr. Now, this is what's interesting. If you Cleveland, now I wouldn't move on from Derek Carr. I'm just telling you right now, I wouldn't move on, even though I am starting to kind of feel like you can. Actually, no, I think I will move on from Derek Carr. I don't think he done been given the... man, this is so hard because I'm so biased because I like Derek Carr, man. I think he a good dude, man, and I think he's a good quarterback. But I'm starting to feel like maybe, man, this is so hard. I wouldn't move on from Derek Carr. But if the Raiders do move on from Derek Carr, then I think you gotta the Browns gotta look into bringing him over. The Browns gotta look into bringing Derek Carr over. No two ways around it. Like, I don't think Derek Carr would want to live in Cleveland after living in L.A., but that's something that you would have to explore. But I don't think in LA or in Vegas. But I don't think that's something that is gonna happen. I think the Raiders will keep Derek Carr. But if you did, like, I would keep him. But if I'm the Raiders, I probably would say this is probably the time that we could move on. But to me, you can't move on next year because, for one, you don't know if you can bring over another guy next year because there's not that many better options, or if any, that's gonna be out there. Compared to Derek Carr, aside from probably like an Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson, if you can find a way to get a Deshaun Watson. But then you look in the draft, do you see a quarterback that you think got as much potential as, like, if you do your homework with a dude in the draft, I can't even be mad at you for moving on. Like, if they say we gonna move on with a quarterback in the draft, I can't hate on that. But you're not gonna even have a position to get a quarterback in the draft unless you really did your homework and somebody slipped or just not being paid attention to that you think gonna be a stud. But if you finna get into the draft just to pull a Daniel Jones, Mitchell Trubisky type shit, you should definitely be keeping Derek Carr. But the Raiders is falling apart. It's no two ways around it. The Chargers got a big win Sunday night, but the Chargers and the Raiders the losing of the games they should definitely have won has put the Chiefs in position, and that's what happened when the Chiefs win the games they are supposed to win. It haven't been at any given Sunday with the Chiefs. The Chiefs win the games they're supposed to win. They win them ugly, but they win them. And now they winning games that people don't think they're supposed to win. Because I don't think they were supposed to beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys just came in and laid it up. But to me, what that say about the Cowboys is they're not ready for that spotlight. The Cowboys, and there's something to be said about teams who constantly play in that spotlight, who constantly play in big games. The Cowboys haven't constantly played in big games over Dak's career. You could say he haven't played in the big games since his rookie year. So his first biggest game of his career since that time was in Kansas City to prove that his team is, legit. And you go out and you lay a dud. You don't even throw a touchdown. So, real rough game for the fucking Cowboys, bro. Real rough game. I mean, losing 9-19. Now listen, the Chiefs, I know everybody's saying the Chiefs is back. And listen, the Chiefs definitely look like the best team in the AFC to me right now. But because that defense done come alive, like that defense has come to life. I can't really say the offense done really been that great. I mean, the motherfuckers put up 19 points. But when you hold Dak Prescott in that offense, and listen, to me it kind of is Dak and them boys folding under the pressure, under the lights. But hey, they're going to get some more opportunities to prove if I'm right or not on that situation and shit. But it's a rough L. Now, listen, it don't cost you nothing because you playing in a trash-ass division, and the Eagles did win. But Dallas is better than the teams in their division. And those teams, they can be on the big stages and shit like that. They'll more than likely beat those bad teams. I can see the Eagles sneaking and taking. If Dallas is as fraudulent as some people think they is, because I don't. I know they really let me down after me telling they was the best team in the NFL last week in the NFC. I no longer believe they are the best team in the NFC because I'm not going to lie. This game did make me realize Dallas might not be ready for these big-time games like this. So I'm going to have to readjust my mindset on that one. But, hey, to me, that's a tough loss for Dallas, bro. Because, that's just a tough loss, man. And it's a bad look, to be completely honest with you, bro. It's a terrible look. Cardinals Seahawks 23-13. I did not watch this game. I know Colt McCoy started, had 300 plus something yards of offense, 2 or 3 touchdowns, I believe. Boy, these Seahawks, man. Congratulations to the Cardinals winning again without Kyler Murray. But man, these fucking Seahawks. Like I said, Bobby Wagner the Ravens need to be making calls in the offseason to try to go get Bobby Wagner. If you have a good team that is a championship contending team, there's no reason you shouldn't be trying to make a call to try to see what you could trade to get Bobby Wagner. His clock has run out in Seattle, whether he know it or not, whether they know it or not. It is time to let that man go. To me, honestly, it's time for Seattle to rebuild. Russell Wilson did as much as he could to keep this ship afloat, but once they lost the Legion of Doom, it was finito, bro. Russ could only do as much as he could, but eventually that was always going to cap out. I think Russ is about to eventually leave and go play for a bigger market. in a team. Because I really can't say Russ don't have weapons, even though Baby Metcalf, pacifier sucking ass motherfucker, really haven't done much of anything since talking shit to Shannon Sharp and calling him a little boy. Shout out to Tyler Lockett though, he's a stud. But yeah, he can't say he ain't got weapons, but he can say he ain't had a running game. But his offensive line done been bad almost every fucking year he done been there. The defense haven't been good since the Legion of Doom or Boom left. Like I really think that it's probably time for Russ. It's time for the Seahawks to go ahead and start fresh. Now, if you want to keep Russ, you can try. But I don't know if Russ is going to be willing to sit around and start all over with a franchise, go through a rebuilding process all over again. Because I don't think he in that part of his career no more. He's no longer in a stage of his career where he haven't accomplished much and he young enough to where you could say, let's endure this rebuild. Russell Wilson done been to 2 Super Bowls, done won one. He a mogul at this point outside of football. People know him. He big time. He get access to a lot of different hosting things and appear on different type of shit. Russell Wilson ain't sitting through a fucking rebuild, bro. Now, you can try to make him sit through the rebuild, but I just don't see that working out for you. I really don't see that working out. And so I really think Seattle was approaching either this or either next year or the year after, sometime close. I think Seattle is gearing up for a rebuild, bro. And I just pray that Baltimore realize this is coming and they make a trade for Bobby Wagner, bro. Steelers, Chargers, 37-41. Chargers got the dub. This is an interesting game. The Steelers, this was Big Bitch's best game since he done been there. This year, not since he done been there. This is Big Rape's best game since of the year so far. They still ended up losing, but the problem is they started so slow, and you can't continue to have to play from behind if you're the Steelers. At least that's not what you want to do. Trust me, as a Baltimore Raven fan, you don't want to make a living out of continuously having to come back from behind, especially when your offense is not playing great. And then, not only when your offense is not playing great, because you're prone to eventually make a mistake when you have to play from behind all the time, but when your offense is already not great anyways, you don't want to make a living trying to play from behind. You know what I'm saying? So, the Steelers defense is, I don't even think the Steelers defense is as great as it's been in recent years. It's still good, don't get me wrong. But they don't really take the ball away like they used to. So, when you don't really take the ball away as much and you really just relying on them to get off the field on third downs all the time, your offense got to feel, they got to start converting. Defenses that don't take the ball away have to have offenses that get off that convert third downs. You know what I'm saying? And for the Chargers, it's a big win. Big win because, oh boy, the fucking free fall y'all was going on. And now you really got to keep winning because the fucking Chiefs done retaking the lead in the division. It's going to be an interesting finish to the AFC, man. I'm going to tell y'all right now, though, man. Let Baltimore lose on Sunday, bro. Let Baltimore fucking lose to this motherfucker Baker Mayfield on Sunday, bro. Now, I don't give a fuck if he play bad. We better not lose this fucking game. If this defense play bad the rest of the season, bro, I could give 2 shits. I need them to play great the next 3 weeks. This week and the week after. In the 2 Brown games, I need them to play the absolute greatest defensive games they done played in their life, and I need our offenses to play the greatest games they done played in their life. They do that for me, I will die a happy man, or I will end a happy man for the rest of the season. But I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. I appreciate y'all for kicking it with Saint for an hour. And listen, man, tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody how dope they is, man. I know a lot of y'all celebrating Thanksgiving and shit tomorrow or today, whichever point in time you watch the video. I'm recording it the day before Thanksgiving. You might be watching it on Thanksgiving. I don't know. It depends on how long it takes for me to get this up. But happy Thanksgiving. Ball out. Eat up. But listen, don't be bitching about how big you is after you fucking eat all you want to. It's consequences for pigging out. You understand that? Don't try to pig out and then try to be feeling sorry for yourself afterwards. Listen, I ain't body shaming or nothing like that. I'm saying enjoy yourself, but don't start bitching about it afterwards. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. All right? If you can't force yourself to stop picking up the thing to the mac and cheese, I don't want to hear about how I don't want to hear about it a couple days later about how you couldn't stop going back and forth for the macaroni and cheese or the pies and shit. I ain't trying to hear it. If you gonna enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. But if you trying to enjoy yourself just to regret it and talk about the regret later, I ain't here for it. You dig? Happy Thanksgiving. Saint is out, motherfuckers.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver, pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends, don't need help popping Coronas and reminisce.